Alright guys, today we're going to be going over the Ice Rescue Sling. For those of you who were around in 2019 when we did the training at Four Seasons, we introduced this piece of equipment. So we're just going to do a quick overview. The idea is that then later on this winter, hopefully we can get some more hands-on training in the water with it.
Let's take a quick second to go over how we're currently set up to perform an ice water rescue. You can see on the left-hand side we have our locking carabiner that is going to be attached to our rescuer, the ice water rescue suit. Towards the center of the screen you can see the oversized carabiner that we use to go around the victim and then hook back onto the rope that is off onto the right-hand side of the screen going back towards the shore. And now this shows how when we incorporate the ice rescue sling into that tagline, we have an added component, but the operation is going to be very similar. You can see we have, instead of the oversized carabiner on the rope, we now have the ice rescue sling attached to that butterfly knot with its own oversized carabiner.
Alright, so as many of you guys know, one of the biggest challenges we face whenever we're doing these trainings with the ice water equipment is a lot of times guys will have a really tough time being able to make this connection with this oversized carabiner back onto the rope. Unfortunately, this is a small rope, it's very flaccid. A lot of times we might have a larger victim. Somebody such as myself with shorter arms may have a really difficult time either wrapping my arms completely around or being able to feel for where that rope is at. And so that's why we looked at getting these ice rescue slings, is because it's a much bigger rope, much more rigid, and a lot easier to make that connection. So here we're going to go over the traditional method of how we would perform a rescue with the rope. So you can see Christian's going to wrap his arms around Shane, and he's going to take and loop the rope through the carabiner.
Yeah, there you go. You got it.
And then at that point, then Christian would call for the guys on the tagline to start pulling. So you can see that there was a little bit of a struggle making that connection, even in best case scenarios out here, not in the water, not under stress. So now we're going to demonstrate this process utilizing the rescue sling. So Christian, just like before, is going to come up behind the victim. He's going to wrap his arms around. Instead of trying to look for the small rope and that's very flaccid, he's going to be able to make this connection much easier. Go ahead and do it one more time, Christian. This new rope being much more rigid makes connection much easier. And then at this point then, Christian would then call for the shore support team to start pulling in, and he would be cinched down and they would start moving towards the shore. When utilizing the rescue sling, there may be one small adjustment we have to make, and as it pertains to our rope bag. So as you can see right now in our traditional method, we have the oversized carabiner right here cinched around the rope. We're using a garbage can to simulate a victim that is obviously has some circumference to it. As you can see, we're roughly 4 feet away from our rescuer to where our victim is going to be. This gives us adequate distance
For the victim
to come out of the water and up on top of that ice before the tagline starts to pull on us, the rescuers, and get us out of the water afterwards. So we'll go ahead and show. So you can see here the closest we're ever going to be in this method is to our victim will be somewhere around the 4-foot mark. So now if we were to utilize the rescue sling in line with our current system without adjusting the length of our butterfly, you can see as we start pulling, we are going to get closer and closer to our victim because we didn't account for the added length that the rescue sling is going to give us. And so you can see now where our would-be rescuer is at would be right up on top of our patient, and this would cause a major issue for getting our victims out of the water, because extra stress onto the shoreline guys who are going to be pulling us in. So to overcome this added length, we want to go ahead and retie our butterfly approximately 8 feet away from where the end of our carabiner is at and where our rescuer is going to be. This will account for the added length required to pull the rescuer in and add the distance needed to make sure that the victim comes out of the water before the rescuer. And as you can see here, We're now approximately 4 feet away from where our rescuer is and the victim. Alright guys, hopefully this clarifies some things for you. The idea is that later on this winter, hopefully we can get into the water and exercise this several more times before we go live with this. So thanks for watching. As always, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out.